Dude said, nah, nah, nah. Hold on, let me turn it up. This shit.
Yeah, I hear it a little bit.
What the? That's because I have it low as hell and shit. But yeah, so
Here we go.
yeah, because I was gonna have that as like the backdrop of all this shit. This shit seemed pretty goddamn plain and simple, bro, or as we like to say, plain and simply.
Yeah,
Now let's go ahead.
Ain't bad at all.
Yeah, no, this shit smooth as hell. I ain't gonna lie. And
Actually,
we can do this
showing
shit
my
live.
highlights.
Huh?
Actually, showing my highlights.
Oh no, you know what's dope as hell? You see where it says Mark Clip?
Or I say Mark Clip. Oh yeah,
Right under,
I see
yeah.
it.
Like if King was here as the producer, because like he can come in as a producer and not share video or audio, but he can like edit while the video is going. And then he can
Like a
make
one-stop
clips.
shop.
Yeah, and he can make clips live within the podcast. So like, let's say we like how we having those like we just get into like a real crazy topic or whatever.
Yeah.
Instead of me going to search for it, he can literally just hit mark as a clip, and then the system will just automatically clip it out. That shit dope as hell.
Let's have that sir conversation.
Oh yeah. Oh, so we still chopping it up.
We
or
just
what's
go
happening right now, bro.
Yeah, we just gonna have like a small, like 1 or 2 topic chop up and shit.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, shit. No, that search shit. Yeah, I was just going back. Like every now and then, I'll go back and listen to some old R&B.
Yeah.
So I was going back and I listened to Chasing Summer, and then it dawned on me that Chasing Summer dropped almost like 4 years ago, or it dropped in 2019. So I'm like, I know it's a classic. But
we was listening to it after the pod at your house and shit.
Yeah, but I wasn't even thinking like this is just a classic. I was thinking like it might have to be time to have that conversation where we have to start talking about this album as like one of those top R&B albums. You know what I mean? Not like just a regular R&B album. Like it's really good or it's a classic, but you don't really talk about it. I'm talking about in the realms of like Confessions, Miseducation. What's the Darnell Jones album?
Where I Want to Be.
Where I Want to Be. Like in those like prestige
conversations.
Yeah. So I don't know, and I'm thinking a lot of the stuff we grew up with, it seems like they just all stuck at their top levels, and everybody just has to respect like where they are. I say Tierra just walking by.
Right.
Tierra just all in the camera. Yo, Tierra, get out the camera. Yo, Tierra, get out the camera. Damn, what the hell was I talking about?
How people just be keeping they list the same and shit.
Oh yeah, but yeah, how like the list never changes at all, and that shit is kind of like, I feel like we married to the list because we just somehow just agree that some of them supposed to never change. Like no one can ever say nothing's better than Confessions or Chris Brown's first album or Chris Brown's second album.
I mean, they feel about that. That's the same thing with rappers and shit. Like niggas feel like if you don't got certain rappers in your top 10 or your top 5 that you don't know music and shit. And it's just like, it's not necessarily the case. Like it's literally okay for you to switch shit around after a while and shit. Like I don't know if niggas know, like the last 10 years we done got some real solid projects and shit. Like
that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about solid enough to where it's moving albums that we thought was unmovable out of their position.
Yeah, like SZA. I don't think niggas understand. SZA dropped some crazy ass heat and shit with Control. Fucking A Seat at the Table deserves to be talked about a little bit more. Channel Orange.
Yeah. Damn, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, we actually might have to like.
Bro, we got some real stupid heat in our last, and this is just our generation as a whole and shit.
Yeah.
Like, yo, we really got some smokers, like, nigga, outside of Confessions. Like, niggas got to really sit down and, like, really start thinking about music as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's just like, yo, our list ain't finna be the list that everybody think that it is no more and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit,
right.
it has to change. You know what I'm saying? You can't there's absolutely no way that you can't put Frank up there and shit. You know what I'm saying? Frank can literally knock somebody off as much as people hate it and how blasphemous is it a sound and shit. Like, nobody can deny Channel Orange and shit.
Nobody can deny Channel Orange, and nobody can deny Nostalgia Ultra either. Like,
yeah, like
he came out the gate smacking people in the face. And then if you even think about that, and then you think about Bryson Tiller's first project, you know what I mean?
You see what I'm saying?
Like, where's
and
that
then
going?
and then if we go any further, hypothetically, what if you want to throw Drake in there? Because technically Drake is R&B.
Nah, I don't throw Drake in there. No,
I'm
Drake,
just saying that's like
Care
a cheat code though.
Nah, I'm not putting Drake in there over like Confessions or nothing like. Nah, Take Care is a rap album. I'm not gonna classify that as R&B.
It's a little bit of both, bro.
Nah, bruh. We talking about
It's
strict
a little
R&B.
bit of both.
Drake can't compete with a strict R&B project, bro. He can't like he can sing, but he can't sing like that, bro. I'm not putting Drake. I'm not putting Take Care over Confessions and shit. You know what I mean? I'm not putting.
No, I wouldn't put it over Confessions, but it definitely can go over some other shit that other niggas consider a top 10 or whatever the case may be. Because everybody list is different and shit. You know what I'm saying? But like I said before, I mean, you right. You know what I'm saying? We can't. But I'm just saying, if an argument was made, niggas can make the argument and shit.
Right.
But yeah, that top 10 list shit. That ain't no different than niggas top 10 or top 5 rappers. Like, yo, the way of life, like, shit changes. It's going to change. You don't have to stick to the norms and shit. Like, but niggas be like,
I think people stick to the norms because it's almost like one of those cultural things where it's like the culture is deeming this as, well, not the culture, but like, well, I will say the culture. It's certain albums where it's like, yo, nothing is better than that shit. You know what I mean? And it's like accepted collectively by everyone. Like, everyone accepts Off the Wall, Michael Jackson. Everyone accepts Thriller. Everyone accepts Confessions. Everyone accepts Miseducation. So I feel like when you start thinking like outside, like, because a lot of the times our generation don't get the respect that the past generations have. Well, only because I think most of the time it's like we have it easier. Well, they look at us like, yo, y'all have it way easier to make music because you can just get a computer or make some easy ass sound. You know what I mean? Like Mike and them, they actually had to have fucking band, you know, in the studio recording all
play
that
instruments
shit.
and shit. Yeah.
Right. And then when Usher was recording, technology wasn't this advanced where anybody can sound good singing. You know what I mean? Like they can.
Yeah.
When Confession still came, I mean, technology was improving, but it wasn't improving like today where you can get somebody who can't sing at all. Like, I don't know, fucking Travis Scott. You know what I mean? Like anybody you could just put and they just sound like, oh, they can actually sing a little bit. Like, and I think that's what's hurting a lot of the current acts that drop really good projects because people are like, yeah, that's good, but it's so many different advantages you can have when how they.
I don't feel like that's fair though.
No, I don't think it's fair either. But I'm trying to figure out.
I hate when people do that because then the next thing that'll come out their mouth is how did it impact the music? And nigga, Bryson had a whole moment where niggas was literally trying to sound like him and shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like he literally brought in a whole nother genre and shit.
Not even just genre. He brought in a whole new fashion. Remember the dad hat craze?
Yeah,
that was Bryson. So not only was people was trying to sound like him and make their records like him, they was also trying to pretty much have his swag too. You know what I mean? Like that's how big of an impact he had. So, but yeah, we definitely got to talk about like why some of the albums that dropped in the 2010s is starting to push out some of the albums that dropped in the 90s where we thought was well, goddamn. Because now I'm thinking now my brain is starting to go towards some of those classics. Like I don't know if niggas is dropping shit better than R. Kelly was dropping this shit. I don't know if niggas is out doing Kales and shit at his peak. I'm talking about Kales
that's why I said like
12 play.
Once you tell somebody that, because you're right, you know what I'm saying. But once you get to telling somebody shit like that, the first thing, like I said before, the first thing they go say is, how did it culturally change the sound of music and shit? And almost every music or almost every album that you can think of that's fire almost changed. You know what I'm saying? With the exception of Surge. Surge didn't necessarily change anything, but that shit was just fucking fire.
But
you know what
you
I'm
could say
saying?
the same thing. You could say the same thing about the music that dropped in the '90s. Because when R. Kelly came out, no one was making like how he was doing his sound. He was doing a mixture of like, because remember what was working back at that time was like, what's the name of that sound that
Auto tune?
No, I'm talking about in the '90s. Fuck, what's the name of that shit? It's the bounce Teddy Riley sound, like Teddy Riley beat and shit. R. Kelly did a mixture of like that New Jack Swing, that's what it's called.
New Jack
he did
Swing.
a mixture of New Jack Swing bridged with like regular like soul R&B, which nobody was doing at the time and shit. So, and then people started to try to copy R. Kelly because they made a whole bunch of fake R. Kellys as, you know, he started.
No, that's a fact.
So that's what I'm
a
saying.
fact.
And then if you even think about Usher, actually, now that I'm going down the list, because like when we was just talking about like, yo, did they make people try to change? Yeah, because after Usher dropped Confessions, they started to be hella fake Ushers and shit. Because remember when Usher dropped Confessions, and that's when Justin Timberlake and all that, he switched his whole goddamn style and shit. Then that's when he started trying to be Justin Timberlake. And then Chris Brown came out of no goddamn where and shit. Like, Usher pretty much brought that whole shit in, you know what I mean? Because, like, before Usher, like, Darnell Jones, and they was big, but they wasn't, like, how big Usher got and shit. So,
Nah.
he changed a whole bunch of shit as well.
Usher brought in a much more, I want to say commercial almost.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. He ushered in a whole different way for R&B people to be like commercial and shit. Like they didn't have to do all of the corny shit that R&B people was doing before and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like his music, that Confessions album was more relatable than a lot of R&B that niggas was doing back then and shit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Niggas back then was like crooning and shit like that.
And the thing he did that was different than a lot of R&B projects, instead of locking in on like one producer, because like back then people was like you get one group and they'll just lock in with Darkchild and shit. Like that whole album would be Darkchild. Like Usher, similar to like what Nas did on Illmatic, he was working with all of the top producers. Same with Usher. Usher was working with Jermaine Dupri, fucking Pharrell, fucking Timberland, some of the best songwriters he was working with and shit. Like he was working with all of the top people in that time.
I think Sean Garrett was on there too.
Sean Garrett, like he had the all-star team of production, and then I feel like because that same formula Chris Brown carried on his debut album, because like on Chris Brown debut album he had producers from all over too and shit.
You know what? Until you said that, I totally forgot about Chris Brown's first album, because I was just literally about to die on this hill to say it's just as good as music Chris Brown make. He don't have any classics. No, you said the first one and shit.
Yeah, no, that first album is hard.
I had to sit down and think about it for a second, because I mean he make good ass music and shit. He make great music. It's just until you just said that, I was literally about to say that nigga don't got no classics though.
Oh no, that first album.
He got classic singles and shit, but he ain't got classic albums. Like that first one was it. Though.
Yeah, that first one was it. That shit was amazing as hell. That shit, like top to bottom, every song, you know, like you know it's a classic. And he made that as a teenager, and it still goes to this day. Like it don't even like you don't feel weird listening to a teenager talk about love and all this shit. You know what I mean? Like, nah, he killed that. Yeah. He definitely killed that.
He probably the only artist I know that hasn't been able to replicate that classic formula since then, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
most artists can't replicate that because Lauryn Hill never replicated that again and shit. Nas never replicated Illmatic again.
He hasn't even come close to that status of that first album and shit. Like none of his albums have literally came close to that and shit. I don't recall a Chris Brown album where it's just like, all right, this motherfucker go off and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I don't know what you're saying. I disagree with that statement 1,000% and shit. Actually.
So what's another album that's close to like that?
So the first album was Chris Brown. That was
Chris Brown.
Yeah. Exclusive was hard as hell.
Graffiti.
No,
exclusive?
Yeah, exclusive. You forget what was on
that hell was like Take You Down, Wall to Wall, and and No Air and shit.
No, bro. This shit had Take You Down. It had Kiss Kiss. It had Damage. It had Down. It had Exclusive was going crazy and shit. I can't remember how some. It had You remember You and shit? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exclusive was hard as hell.
I mean, Exclusive was hard, but
Exclusive was hard as hell. You tripping, bro? What the fuck?
I'll give you that one, but it ain't been nothing else after that.
God, I forgot how hard Exclusive was.
It's been a whole bunch. It's just been like a whole bunch of like
Wall to Wall was on. Goddamn, Exclusive was hard as hell, bro.
I'm saying I give you Exclusive, but after that Graffiti, and all the other shit, it was like,
Let's see. I don't know, bruh. Fame was dope too and shit. You
fuck with Fame?
Bruh, Fame had Deuces on it and shit. And it had
That's
no bullshit.
it.
No, it had no bullshit on it too.
And what else?
Hold on. Look at Me Now was on Fame. No, Fame. This new album was fucking filled with hits and shit. This album was filled with hits. Yeah, bruh. Just go look at Fame. Like,
I'm looking at Fame.
He been consistent as hell. Deuces. Yeah. Chris Brown, I'll say after Fame, that's when because I ain't fuck with Fortune at all and shit. But the Fan of a Fan, the mixtape was fire as hell and shit. Remember him and Tiger did that shit?
That was our shit.
Now,
that's when you was working at Bayshore and shit.
Yeah. Now, if you was talking about after Fan of a Fan, then you'll have a real talk. But I liked Indigo, or not Indigo, Heartbreak on the Full Moon. I thought that shit was dope as hell.
I fuck with both of them. They just wasn't.
But no, I get what you were saying. But I think you just forgot about all that he dropped. Like Chris Brown has been one of the most consistent artists.
He is.
When it comes to
he gonna give you a solid, okay project and shit. Enough. It's gonna be enough for you to, you know what I'm saying, be like, all right, this nigga consistent and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't gave you no absolute dookie or nothing like that.
No, and I'm just talking about from the because you said he ain't never come, and I was saying like, if you go look at this discography, after coming off of Chris Brown, you go to Exclusive, and then Graffiti, that was a dub, but then you come back with Fame, so you was like 3 for 1 and shit. Oh no, we don't need. I mean, he ain't got to come now since this is just a little play vibe and shit. But yeah,
who else? Another artist with a lot of albums and shit.
Chris Brown.
You know what? I'm gonna have me a little personal segment on the pod called "Giving People Their Flowers" and shit.
No, it's not gonna be necessarily that. Bro. Call it.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be that. It's gonna be like respect our legends or some shit like that. Because I think niggas
appreciation. We come up with a name. I don't want to say the flowers.
Yeah,
shit, though.
but it's gonna be essentially something about like artists that niggas be forgetting about and shit. Like, I think niggas be forgetting how dope Ludacris was and shit.
I think niggas forget about how dope Jaheim was and shit.
That's a fact. You see what I'm saying?
Oh no, they be disrespecting the fuck out of them.
That's a whole little segment. We can come up with a rapper and an R&B person, dog, and just be like, you niggas must have forgot how they was coming and shit. Cause if I was to have one, my pick would have been Ludacris this week. Like, niggas forget how dope Ludacris was and shit. Like, Ludacris was actually, like, he actually held down a couple of summers. He can really rap.
No, Ludacris was considered one of the best rappers in the game at one point. And shit.
Yeah, dog.
It sounds laughable now. And shit. It sounds laughable now because everybody be like, look at you talk about the nigga off of Fast and the Furious. Like, you talk to little kids, they gonna think he just a horrible actor. You know, that's all he do now is do horrible acting and get paid millions for that shit. That's probably what people hate.
And he had consistent albums and shit.
Oh yeah, now Ludacris wasn't fucking around.
Back for the first time was consistent. Word of mouth was consistent. Chicken and beer.
Oh,
but the only thing that's weird about Ludacris music and shit is like it didn't transcend over good and shit. Like some songs did, but it's just like a lot of his music was so stuck. It felt like you know exactly where his music at and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
but I'm
that
saying
time
he went,
period-
bro. He went diamond though. Like he was one of those.
and that's exactly what I'm saying. Yes.
Like he was selling albums. Like he wasn't. What Jay-Z said?
wasn't
Only
chumping
he
shit.
said only. No, did he say only?
Only dudes moving units is him, Nelly, and
He said Pimp
only
Juice.
dudes moving units, him, Pimp
Yeah.
Juice,
And
and
us.
us.
Yeah, he was talking about Nelly and shit. He wasn't
I
talking
think he's
about
talking
Ludacris.
about Eminem, but Nelly would have.
Yeah.
Nelly is on my list too. Missy Elliott is on my. Dog, I got a couple of niggas where niggas just must have like really forgot that niggas was like really holding the streets down and shit. Like
Fact.
niggas was really making music and shit. Like
Not even
and he
just
was
making
selling-
music. I'm saying not even just making music. People forget about his skill set. It's like
Yes.
people be disrespecting him like he can't rap. It's like, bro, at one point, when I was younger, I just thought he was an elite rapper. I didn't think he was just like a gimmicky rapper and shit. You know what I mean?
Dog, he was the first nigga to diss T.I. publicly outside of Lil Flip and shit.
Wait, he dissed T. I thought T.I. and him dissed somebody. and
No, he
shit.
dissed T.I. and shit.
Oh yeah, we talking about
I'm
we
a
stay up there-
motherfucking monster in this game, similar to the Loch Ness.
Yeah.
My rhymes is nappy rooted. Some verses got a process.
Process,
the truth
yeah.
in his booth. Ain't no doubts when,
when I'm rapping. If I said it, then in a
done
minute, and it's about to happen.
got to happen. When I pull up in the Louis Tricks on 26s, people dumb out. If life's a crap game, I'm rolling sevens on the come out. Dog, come on, man. Ludacris
Yeah.
was going.
No, he
dog.
was going crazy
That nigga
as
said
hell.
niggas be mad because maintaining my fish tank in their house costs the same.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah, he was
Gotta
talking
give
that
it up,
talk.
dog.
But no,
Ludacris
he
is
never.
that nigga.
And Ludacris is that nigga, and he could. When you mention type rappers of all time, he never gets put on anyone's list, which is fucked up.
No, and I'm so pissed because he can make a top 50 easily and shit.
Hell yeah, bro! I be hearing people talk about like putting Fat Joe and Noriega and like all that shit. I'm like, bro, none of them was nowhere near as big when Ludacris.
None of them
at
niggas
his-
had a candlelight to Ludacris and shit. None
That's what I'm
of them.
saying. None of them was at the peak that he was at and shit. So it's like, I don't know. That
Bruh.
shit do be annoying me too because it's like,
Ludacris
but we
had-
Yeah, go
Ludacris had a song about hoes and shit.
But, yeah, but I ain't even talking about. I ain't even talking about the song he had about that though. Like the fact that he was moving units when all of these so-called rappers that's ahead of him, because like he was outselling Busta Rhymes and shit. Niggas be putting Busta up there way higher than him and shit.
Yes.
He was outselling fucking Nori and shit. He was outselling.
Bruh. He was in Def
still-
Jam when Def Jam was. He was in Def Jam when Def Jam was still Def Jam.
Yeah, niggas-
He had to compete with all of that. He had to compete with the DMXs and shit.
Bro, he was a
Pump
rapper.
it up. He had to compete with shit like that.
And not even that, he had to compete with that, but he was a rapper, real rapper, coming out of Atlanta when Atlanta was doing the snap your finger. Remember, like that whole
Yes.
little vibe? Like, and he was
Yes.
rapping. He wasn't like on some dancing shit. But a lot of the artists that was coming out at the time, yeah, I just think it's crazy that he don't get his goddamn respect and he need that shit. You know
No,
what I
that's
mean?
a fact. Now, off to your other one, fucking Jaheim and shit.
Yeah.
Niggas really got to stop disrespecting Jaheim, yo.
Nah, fuck the Jaheim topic. Niggas gotta stop disrespecting Trey Songz, bruh. That's what. That's the one.
Give it up. Give it up.
Bruh. People
Give it
forget
up.
that run he went on, like that
Give it up.
that ready run. This shit, like
Give it
people
up,
act like
man.
that just like that didn't happen. Like, bruh,
Give
at
it
one
up,
point he
man.
was the hottest dude in R&B and shit. Like,
Listen, he was the nigga in R&B.
bruh, Reddy was up there with Confessions and shit. Like, Reddy was
Yes,
one of those
nigga.
type of albums, and like he don't get the respect he deserves at all and shit.
Bro, listen, he had mixtapes. When we was listening to his mixtapes that sounded better than niggas' albums and shit.
Yeah,
Fam, we was listening to fucking Anticipation 1 and 2 and shit.
Yeah.
Like, niggas know the vibes and shit.
nah, because people be disrespecting Trey. I mean, I get it. 'cause,
And
you
we ain't
know-
gonna forget Pain, Passion, Pain, and Pleasure and shit.
Oh yeah, all that shit was hard. All
Like,
shit
bro,
was
that
hard.
nigga, he wasn't short stopping no time soon and shit. Like, dog was
goddamn right he
going.
wasn't.
Like, niggas
think-
got Trey Songz fucked all the way up and shit.
Yeah, yeah. But I think what happened was, I think after Ready, people thought like he was finna explode to that next level, and
Yeah.
then like that shit that you named, it was good, but it wasn't Ready good and shit. 'Cause,
No,
like,
it wasn't.
when R. Kelly got to like after 12 play, I was like, oh shit, what is he gonna do next? And then he just kept coming with like smashes and shit.
Nah, that R. Kelly effect on shit, not to take it all Trey Songz, but that R. Kelly effect with shit is like, I ain't never seen no shit like that. Like, his sounds in music was so diverse. It changed. He literally changed almost every album and shit.
Right.
It's weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird how he was able to keep the shit that everybody was familiar with, but put his own little spin on it in a certain way and shit. Like, Chocolate Factory don't sound like TP2.com and shit. And they both classics and shit.
But that's what I'm talking about for Trey, though. Like, he had that same momentum. Because I feel like a lot of artists, they can catch the momentum, but sometimes if you don't have nothing that is bigger than the momentum that you made come, like that you created, then it can work against you and shit. Because like if you building up this release and like everybody's like, oh shit, what he's gonna do, and then you just drop the ball. Because another artist I remember that had that momentum, but then he captured it. But everybody knows like Drake, like So Far Gone, the momentum was high as hell and shit. And then like his first album, momentum kept growing, and then instead of folding under pressure, Drake just kept coming with like he
this nigga that. Dropped a literal classic and shit. Right.
That's what I'm saying. He captured the momentum, but a lot of artists like the Trey Songz or like the Bryson Tiller, because Bryson Tiller, the momentum was peaking. Like everybody was like, oh shit, what the fuck is gonna happen? And then
but in Trey Songz' defense too, though, like in Trey Songz' defense, I guess in a sense he kind of successfully did it though, because that was his third album. Like he did good, he did great, and then the third album was like the one and shit.
No, but that's not. I'm saying like I know he didn't. He wanted to be R. Kelly big and shit. Like that was good. But like, remember he made a whole song about Kells, and he was like, "I'll be taking you." Remember all that shit? He was talking about taking R. Kelly beats and shit. Remember he was like beefing with R. Kelly at one point.
Oh yeah, off that mixtape, Let Me Hold That Beat and shit.
Yeah, he was just talking about like, no, but I'm the new legend type shit. And he was headed there, but like I said, I just think if you can't build off what you have, but I think that's success for a lot of artists is a gift and a curse, especially if it happens too quickly. Because some artists, like, if that shit comes too fast, you're not ready to, build off that shit, then.
No, yeah, you right. Because a lot of niggas don't know how to capitalize on success. Like, niggas will do a whole 180 on some shit that they could have they had a straight layup to the rim for and shit. Like, a lot of niggas don't be having to do the certain shit that they be doing. Like, yo, if it's working for you, just keep working it and shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't hear that nigga 504 and changing his sound or no shit like that. And he going mainstream and shit. You know what I'm
saying? Like, I mean, his sound is mainstream though, because that sound that he's using isn't his sound. So he don't have a unique sound. He has the sound that the New York sound is. You know what I mean? Like he's got that Pop Smoke sound and shit, and everyone else. Every drill rapper New York sound he has. So like, he's not. He has a slightly different cadence on that shit, but like he's not doing nothing new and shit. You know what I mean? Like,
I know. I'm saying like he not, because he got these big ass artists and shit like that. He making them come to his world. Like he not going to theirs and shit. You know what I'm saying? I never would have thought I'd have heard Alicia Keys or fucking Kanye West on the drill beat and shit.
But I would have thought I would have heard Kanye West on the drill beat just because he tried to fit. Like when the older acts, they trying to figure out what's popping. And before he was messing with 504 and Kanye was starting to make those type of beats and shit. Because he had some beats like that wasn't on, a 504 and sound and shit. I just think a lot of artists, because everybody try to figure out what's the next popping sound and shit. And like New York is doing the drill shit, and a lot of people are like, oh shit, this shit bubbling? All right, let me jump on this type of beat and shit. You know what I mean? Because everybody on this shit, Drake on the New York drill sound, Kanye on one and shit. So, you know what I mean? I just think that's the popping sound for everybody to be on.
I mean? That's kind of weird and shit.
But I like Fabio. I actually like his music.
Yeah, I do too and shit.
I think he actually got real talent. I think he can rap for real.
I think he can rap for real and shit.
Like, dude, I really genuinely
think he can rap and shit. Like, Fabio really be rapping.
Yeah, he be spitting like a motherfucker and shit.
At first, I couldn't stand that nigga and shit, and then I don't know. He dropped this one song, something story or something like that, and I'm like, all right, this nigga might be a little serious and shit.
Yeah, Fabio dirty as hell.
Cause that nigga was dropping hella Crip music and shit. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? This nigga ain't Snoop Dogg and shit. Like, what the fuck this nigga got going on and shit?
Yeah, nobody want to hear that shit, yo. Nobody want to hear that shit. But yeah, besides music though and shit, bro, what the fuck you been up to and shit?
regular shit, school. I just paid for Tierra Mother's Day gift and shit, so.
Goddamn, when Mother's Day come, I just already gave my mom a big ass goddamn lump sum and shit.
It's coming in May and shit.
I don't know if she getting a goddamn cent and shit. I gave her a big ass, gave her a huge ass Mother's Day present. Like, I don't know.
I had to get that shit out the way because once we do Mother's Day, we turn around a week later and we go out the country for our anniversary and shit.
Oh, shit. Fuck y'all going, bruh.
She trying to go to she either trying to debate on doing the cruise or she wanna like literally go out the country and shit. So
weird.
We trying to figure that shit out right now.
You got your passport and all that shit?
No, we actually finna pay for it this weekend, shit.
Goddamn, I've been trying to get my shit for like 5 years now and shit.
Nah, niggas definitely been slow footing like a motherfucker and shit. Like it's definitely time.
That should be annoying as hell going to get that shit though. Like when I was trying to go to get it last year, every time I tried to go get my passport, it was always some weird shit that would happen. Like it'll be like, oh, our machine broke, or it'll just be a random homeless dude in the damn place where I need to get that shit, and I'll just leave. Like, bro, fuck this shit.
Yeah, we finna go on a little vacation run after April and shit. So,
oh yeah, we got hella shit planned. For a little vacation shit too. I gotta start putting my time in. I gotta do that shit tomorrow and shit. But DC about to be lit as hell though. We already we got our tickets and shit. We looking at some Airbnbs right now. It's gonna be one of the Airbnbs we got. That shit about to be nice as hell. And I ain't been drinking. I've been like sober all month. I'm gonna be sober all the way. I've been sober all March, and then from March all the way until April 17th, and then I'm gonna start drinking again and shit. So by that time, like my body is loving this shit right now. You know what I mean? Yeah. It hasn't had the poison that it craves bad and shit. It hasn't had that craze that I've been wanting to drink. I had so many opportunities to drink. And you know what I realized? I'm like, damn, what if all adulthood is just a big ass weekend of poisoning your goddamn self and shit? That was all that shit. Like, there's almost like being an adult is almost like there's no places that you can go where you don't want to drink and shit. And then you realize just how boring adulthood is without fucking drugs and shit. You're like,
nah, you literally just like, damn, I really do hate this. I really do hate everything around me.
Oh, hell yeah. Cause even fun events. I went to concerts and shit. Cause I went to 2 concerts. That shit was lit as hell. Shout out to Cautious Clay. I was comparing the two, Cautious and Mac Aries. Mac Aries shit was dope. But Cautious shit was some next level shit though, I ain't gonna lie, bruh. And shit was some of the most amazing shit I've ever fucking seen a human being do. And shit, dude was beatboxing on a flute and shit. I said, what the fuck?
Oh,
fuck
shit.
Dude find his flute at? No, he was beatboxing on the flute and that shit sounded amazing as hell, yo. Mac
shit sounds sick.
Yeah, no, that shit was dope as hell. Mac shit was dope too though. But the whole time I was there, I was sober as fuck. I'm like, damn. I never realized how much you've been drinking till you stop drinking, and then you realize that you want to drink and shit. So you trying to figure out ways of like, cause you start figuring out ways of like, tricking your body to like thinking it's drinking some shit. So I would just get a fucking Red Bull, like cause me and Danny both doing the fucking, both doing the
dry march and shit.
Yeah, the dry march. Well, yeah. So we decided to do Red Bull, and that shit did not help. It actually made me focus more that I wasn't drinking and shit. I was too damn focused knowing I ain't have a drink in my hand. Like, damn, I need a drink. What the fuck?
Nah, me and Tierra been we've been incorporating like car dates and shit where like we'd grab some food or something and actually just like sit down, talk in the car and shit like that. So we just been trying to incorporate and do little shit. You know,
that shit sound cool. It's car dates. What the hell is that? Y'all doing some next level shit over there, bro.
Huh?
No, I'm saying y'all doing some next level shit. But what made y'all want to do some of that shit? Like, what made y'all was like, let's do some different shit. Like, how'd y'all even come about that?
Well, one, it was Tierra idea, but a lot of that shit was we do a lot of repetitive shit during the weekend. You know what I'm saying? It's usually hey, let's go do this. And, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like we just trying to find different avenues to, you know, keep our relationship fresh and shit. You know what I'm saying? Our marriage fresh and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Dude,
you gotta,
relationship. He almost got divorced right in that little
Yeah.
stance. So what the fuck relationship?
I was just telling Tierra, like, at the age that I'm at now and shit, I'm not acting like I'm rich or I'm balling or nothing like that, but I much rather pay for the experience and not complain about paying for it. You know what I'm
Fact.
saying? Like, I love being able to have the ability to do it, but I really love it for the experience. Like, it'd be a lot of times that you be experiencing shit that a lot of niggas won't get a chance to experience, or B, just don't want to. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to be one of those people and shit. So
that's a whole fact.
You know, if you really got it, you know what I'm saying, take care of yourself and do it. You know what I'm saying?
Because I was just having this discussion because we were looking at some Airbnbs for the DC trip and shit. And one of the Airbnbs was nice as hell. So I'm like, damn, do we want to stay and spend that shit? And then we were debating on, like, do we want to just do this nice ass shit or just do some? The other shit was okay. It wasn't bad. It wasn't as luxury as this other shit. But like, it was, the difference was only like a couple hundred. So I'm like, I don't know. Let's see what Drake what's his budget and shit. And then once we figured it out, I was just like, all right, we could just do the nice, super nice shit. Cause like, at the end of the day, it's about the overall experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cause like, if you do get somewhere and then like the place, if something doesn't like help the experience,
that could potentially fuck your whole trip up.
Hell yeah, because I've had that happen before when I went on the trip, and it was a terrible ass room and shit. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was trying to like make it seem like I did not care about that shit, but I was furious. It was actually when I went to the Dells, and then it was like this disgusting ass room and shit. And they had like they had a painted fake headboard and shit, but online they made it look like it was a real headboard. And then we got the room, it was wallpaper and shit. I told y'all that story on the pod before.
Yeah.
So that
you gotta, I mean, at our age, nigga, like, you gotta pay for experiences and shit. Like, that's just what it boils down to. Like, niggas work entirely too hard to just be doing
that,
some.
And I'm realizing the more shit I buy, the more I realize how worthless products are and shit. Versus how amazing experiences is. Like, if you equate the two, like, if let's say you bought some new shoes and shit, or you can go to a concert or like do something like a trip or some shit, the shit, like, if both of them the same price, the experience gonna shit all over the fucking product and shit. Because the product, you feel that excitement once they arrive. You're like, oh shit, and you wear them like one time, but you don't feel the same excitement and the same joy that you get from just traveling or doing some type of experience-based thing, like going to a concert or doing some
and that's funny you say that. Shout out to you. I finished Atomic Habits and shit like that.
Oh yeah, fire ass book, bro.
Yeah,
I ain't even finished that shit, but I still ain't finished that shit because I'm reading that shit.
Yeah. But even off that topic, like, when you start realizing the money that you spend on certain shit, you start realizing that you taking away from experiences that you can do and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if niggas going out every weekend and they spend $100 and shit, imagine if you was just to put that $100 away 3 times. You know what I'm saying? That's potentially your hotel and your rental and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then if you don't go out 3 more times, that's potentially your flight. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you start realizing that your money can go to other things and shit, it makes your choices a lot easier and shit.
That's
you
a
know
whole
what I'm saying?
goddamn
Like,
fact.
I don't necessarily care about going out and shit like that, but that also gives me the ability to buy the shit that I want to buy and go to places that I want to go and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and Tierra plan so far ahead that when it's time for us to go, only thing we saving for is spending money at that point and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that comes from us not, you know what I'm saying? Like, we all right with going without, like, going out, or me not buying shoes and shit like that. Like, I went a whole damn near a year without not buying no shoes or nothing like that.
And then both of us just start splurging on that shit randomly. What the hell? No, all it take for me to just go down that fucking splurge wormhole.
One time.
All I gotta do is get that feeling of hitting submit, and that just say your order is on the way and shit. You're like, I need more. And then that's, I
got about 6 packages on the way here and shit.
Hey, I find myself online. I'll be on that bit like, damn, imagine you had these with 2, bro. That's why, like, 'cause I know that shit's a sickness and shit. Like, whenever that shit come back, I have my cart. I'll be talking to myself. I'm like, bro, think about it. You just get one more shoe, and then that's
listen,
I'm in that.
That's
shit.
exactly where I'm at right now. Like I showed you the ones that I just kept. I'm like, these other ones ain't priced that bad.
Fast. That's how I explained to myself. I was like, do you
I
really
afford? I can afford
bro,
these, and this ain't gonna hurt nothing.
I said, bro, do you really need $600 like that? I was just talking myself into some bullshit real quick. But
well, that's a fact.
No, that's how that should be, though. That's definitely how that should be. That's why I try to stay, because like if I don't see it, then I won't go down that wormhole. But one thing I can say is being in a relationship does help curb some of your bad spending habits, though. Like how you talking about how like you was going out and all that shit, because like back when I was thinking, a lot of my money was going like just going out and shit, drinking, and then you got to think about you buying outfits, you doing all this shit. You know what I mean? Like you buying new shoes and shit. You doing all this extra shit when you're going out, and buying bottles and paying a dub or $40 to get in a spot, and then at the spot, and then if you most likely would go out Friday and Saturday. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like that's damn near like $200 every week, and then
if you was to put that $200 aside,
$400 every month,
every week. You
Think
know
about
what I'm saying?
that. It's almost like $400 a month if you going out every week, every weekend and shit, and you spend like $100 every week, every weekend.
That could potentially be your flight and your rental or your
Damn.
rental flight. You know what I'm saying? There could be a lot of shit.
I just thought about, because like if you remove that shit, like think about it. If you spend $100 every weekend, because let's say you go out Friday and Saturday, you buy, drink, do all this shit. If you didn't go out and then you spent, because like $400 every week, that's $400 a month, right? But if you take that away, that's $400 in your pocket, or $400 to do some other shit. So you could, So that's probably why I've been able to save. I was realizing that's probably why I've been able to save so much money so fast, because I don't be.
No, for real. You start thinking about the shit that you normally spend your money on. Like I'm literally just starting to look at my money differently and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
how you looking at that shit, bro?
And when I'm looking at it differently, it enables me to save more, and it enables me to do the shit that I want to do. I wouldn't have been. I'm lying. I can do whatever I want to and shit. You know what I'm saying?
You still be buying those escorts and shit. You'll still be buying escorts like a motherfucker.
Dude, goofy.
Hell no, this nigga buying escorts and shit.
When you just
still
start
say he about to go to sleep year 9 and shit. Nigga said, "Nah, I'm about to go to sleep." He must just got some bad ass. He must have some financial woes, or his fucking wife put him out and shit. This nigga hilarious as hell. Dude going to sleep early as shit. But nah, to give y'all context, I had to ask Najee to join the podcast as our third mic today, and he just finally responded. He said, "Nah, I'm about to go to sleep." Mind you, it's 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock in Milwaukee and shit. Dude going to bed at 9 p.m. and shit. This thing is funny as fuck.
But nah, when you just start looking at your money a little different and shit.
Oh, hold on, pause that real quick. I just thought of it.
What's up?
Both episodes we couldn't air and shit was you giving Najee his 2-week friendship notices. It was like you said, "Fuck that, nah. This message has to get to Nige one way or another and shit." And both episodes cannot be aired. This shit, that shit, wild. Those episodes probably would have changed a whole bunch of shit. Once they would have hit the net and shit. Shit would have changed everything. Rico was spilling his fucking guts on them shit. That shit funny as hell. But nah.
You was out here telling the truth, man.
Oh, no. You was just like, yo, hey, bro, fuck nah. That shit was wild as hell. I'm going to see if there's a way. I got to figure out how to get that content. Hell no. That shit was funny as hell. Dude was he was getting teary-eyed and shit. I was like, God damn, he mean this shit, don't he? Dude, this nigga not bullshitting at all and shit. Say, yo, nah, it's just a rap, bruh. Lose my number and shit. I'm surprised you didn't give him the boot out the goddamn out the group chat. I'm surprised you didn't give dude the boot out the group chat.
How the fuck did Celtics get first in the East?
Shit, and everybody
Sorry.
ducking. No, I'm saying everybody ducking that first seed and shit. Nobody want to, because the first seed has to play the Nets. So right now, Boston will play the Nets if the playoffs started today and shit. Everybody else scared. Not, I don't think the Bucks scared. We just lost. We just got our ass whooped yesterday, but we not scared.
Yeah.
But Sixers and the Heat, they intentionally resting niggas so they can lose and shit, so they won't be the first seed. They doing some bullshit. But yeah. So it might be, until Meech figure out his goddamn laptop, it might be the Trey and Rico show for a little minute. You know what I mean? But we can hold this shit down. We did it. We did it that one show. We did it that, what show was that? It was our first ever testing show. Cause I still might release this and just do another testing type shit. Just let people know what the fuck's popping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I want to see how
Just
the
let
quality.
niggas know that we up in this motherfucker still.
Yeah, hell yeah. Cause like I was talking to my cousin. She was like, I be watching your podcast. I was like, oh, that's what's up. Then she tried to convince me to join this Ponzi scheme with her and shit. That shit was crazy.
Hey, universe, I need y'all to do me a favor and let's make a deal. If Tory guilty, we'll apologize. But if that nigga ain't guilty, y'all gotta be loud as shit with y'all apologies and shit.
Why? You think he guilty now or some shit?
Nah, I'm just saying, I be hating the narrative like I told niggas before and shit. Like, even when a nigga ain't guilty, he guilty. And I don't want that to be dude and shit. Like, if he ain't guilty, let that shit die. You know what I'm saying? Like, if
I want to make sure you
guilty,
saying this shit. You saying you want to apologize for that shit? Cause I ain't apologizing for a goddamn thing myself.
No. I'm saying if it come out that he did do it and shit, niggas gotta come on here and apologize. And
I ain't apologizing. I'm just moving on like a goddamn like a nigga would do, bro. You think I'm apologizing?
Nah, you gotta be a real nigga and apologize and shit.
Being a real nigga is to not apologize. Think about that shit, bro.
That's being an unloyal hoe nigga and shit. You gotta apologize. Yo.
I dude said it being an unloyal hoe. Hell no, dude said being an unloyal hoe nigga. Then, hey yo, that last episode was funny as hell too, and so you was talking about.
Our last episode was fire as fucking shit.
Hell yeah.
Our last 2 episodes was fire as hell and shit.
Nah, I was thinking that shit because I tried to download that shit like right off the bat, and then that shit just was like 25%. I'm like, what the fuck? I deleted hell shit. This shit just stopped.
Did you see the what's name that I sent you?
What?
I sent you a troubleshoot thing.
Oh shit! Nah, I didn't see that shit.
Yeah, I sent you a little troubleshoot thing, and
You
I
sent
told
it to
you
my
you
regular
anything and
DM and shit.
No, I sent it to
the group chat.
I'm finna send it back to the group chat right now and shit.
Yeah, see what we can do with that shit. Even once we fix it, I still want to use this shit over that though. I like this.
No, that's a fact. Let's just get that. Hopefully we can get our last one out and shit.
You gotta let Najee know about this shit. You gotta let Najee know what time it is. That's what's happening and shit. Like what the fuck?
I mean,
Najee still don't know.
I know your instigating had his own and shit, but you know.
Nah, I'm bullshitting.
This nigga out here, dude looking like Dana White and shit. And in this corner.
Mm-hmm. Wait, so you finna fight Nige and shit? that's the next step? So that's the step after this shit? It's like, no, but actually, not only are we not friends, bro, like, it's on site for dog. You don't even call him Nige, you just call him dog and shit. That shit funny as fuck. But nah, there was just a little test run. We wanted to see how this shit was gonna go. Me and you did a quick ass hour. That's how you know we some professionals, bro. We just freestyled a whole goddamn hour. Imagine, that's why I'd be like, I know, like, back in the day when, like, we didn't have guests or, like, our different mics will just leave and you'd be like, fuck, can we hold down the whole show? But now I know for a fact two people can do a show. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I told that nigga Meech if he keep transferring any of this trash ass music to the group chat, we was gonna X him out and shit.
I didn't even hear that shit. What the fuck song was it and shit?
Nah, he shared some kind of British Jamaican dude and shit. All I heard was bum 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 my way, bum bum, pissing me off like fucking shit. I was ready to hit Meech and shit.
Damn, that shit wild as fuck.
And nigga shared a whole damn Kodak Black album down there and shit.
He was listening to Kodak Black. He needed his ass whooped for that shit. But shit, I guess we can roll in and wrap this shit up, and then this was just a little test run. I'm gonna do some post production to see what the fuck's in this thing, and then go from there and shit. What you? How you feel about that shit, bro?
What you say?
When the fuck dude was listening at all and shit. Nah, so
I was
we
looking
can.
up something.
Nah, I said we can wrap this shit up, and then I just want to see how the video gonna turn out, and then go from there. So if you are watching this shit, this is us testing out some new shit, new technology, so we can keep getting better with this shit. That's why y'all was like, yo, what the fuck? God damn, got COVID and shit, but. Nah, so that's how.
This nigga got COVID.
No, I said my crazy ass sneezing out some COVID. But nah, what the fuck I was gonna say and shit. Y'all was wondering like, what happened to the pod? Where y'all at? We trying to elevate, yo. We got to figure out new technology. We don't want to keep using because once the world think that's the shit we gonna be using, move over to the next shit. We're not gonna keep doing the same shit. You know what I mean? So like, y'all niggas trying to keep up. Just know you can't keep up with the pod like that because we always switch it. And you ain't gonna even know what pod software we're using on this one because we ain't got it on the bottom of the screen. Like fucking
And to be honest with y'all
shit.
niggas, man, in a minute, me and Trey finna sit down and politic, and we really finna try to take this off. Like, I think we've been here long enough where we can finally start taking this shit just a tad.
I think this software will help though. I honestly think this shit because like now that we can do like live shit and have people come on and we can have the clip shit. I think that's what I think every time there's a little hurdle, I feel like it gives us more ability to scan this shit, the field and shit,
and jump over the hurdles and shit.
All right, well, that's going to wrap up the Mac and the Hanging podcast, our testing again episode. Whenever you see a testing episode, just know this is brought to you by the Mac and the Hanging podcast. No, I'm bullshitting this shit. But whenever they see testing episode, this is, as always, me and Rico just doing the testing shit. But yeah, make sure you follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is MACKINHANGIN_podcast. Follow us on Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud. We're going to keep trying to get this content out to y'all. Niggas been busy as fuck. And then we've been busy. Our software been fucking going. Rico in school. I'm over here doing the side business and shit. Meecher's got cat pissing all over him and shit. He just constantly be having cats attack him and shit. Like, what the fuck? God damn, that cat gonna just... Like, shit. That's just how it is. But we're going to talk to y'all next week. And I feel like this software actually seems much easier than the other one. So I feel like this shit should be simple as hell. So if it is easy as how this is, and like we not having, remember all those little audio issues we was having on that first one when we first tried to do this shit? This shit just started working right away and shit. So
yeah, and I like you show your mic, what's the name and shit.
What you mean?
To show your mic bars, like your bars.
Oh shit, where you see that at?
Right where it say your name and shit.
Yeah,
and then it show you your camera quality. We are crispy than a motherfucker. I will say that.
Hell yeah, that shit too damn crispy.
Niggas mad crispy and shit.
Hell yeah. Well, that's gonna wrap it up. We're gonna see y'all next week.
Peace.